Why do people become influencers? This is a question that I think most people have, myself included. And I have a few answers that I've come up with for why. Firstly, why? The first reason why is because ego. Basically, people have big egos, and so they want to get easy access to attention, and so they make dumb videos. They talk about internet drama. Think like commentary channels. They talk about pop culture and whatnot mostly because they want to satisfy their own ego. The second reason why I think is because people like me, creatives, need to push out their art somehow, and because it's not the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or even the 2000s anymore, people have to adapt, and so basically what we have to do is we have to post our art online, but unfortunately most people don't appreciate art as much. So what you do is you have to make videos and shorts on whatever platform in a way to try and promote your art. The third reason why, which is the reason I feel is the most the reason I think is the most or the strongest, the strongest reason I think it is because of money. And it ties into the first two things too, but I think money is the biggest reason why. See, when I started making videos, I didn't do it because I had a big ego. I mean, I do, I guess, have a bit of an ego, but I didn't do it just to satisfy my ego or to just push out my art, but also because I need money. See, in the 2020s, in the 2026, I should say, nobody's getting jobs, nobody's getting money, nobody's gonna be able to work a summer job or an average 9 to 5. One, because you're not getting hired, because AI chatbots will reject your application before you even get a chance to be looked at by an actual person. And if you do work a job, that job is not paying your bills. I don't know what to tell you. It's just barely getting you by, maybe for your rent, maybe car payments, maybe groceries, whatever you put that money to. And so people need a side hustle. I feel like my generation is very much a hustler kind of generation. Not because we are naturally like that, but because we have to be. And so a lot of us turn to the internet as a way to make ends meet. If you remember from the 2000s and the 2010s, there were a lot of influencers, I guess. Yeah, influencers who managed to make big waves, make a lot of money, get a lot of brand deals, push themselves to the limit, and get rich off of nothing, basically. They've got hugely successful off usually making nothing. They're like Kardashians, basically. They get rich and famous for no reason whatsoever. You can't explain why they got rich. I can't explain to you why they got rich, but they got rich, and now a lot of us look at that and say, well, we should try that. The most famous example now that we can point to is Cory Barker with Obsession, because he had a YouTube channel with the other guy who played Ian in the movie, and they had a YouTube channel, and it's become huge, and it helped fund them to make Obsession. And I think a lot of people now, I think, are gonna look at that and say, well, if that can happen, if they can make a wildly successful movie based off of the internet, we can do that too. There are plenty of other YouTube channels that are trying to make movies and TV shows by being on the internet. One of my goals when it comes to my music is to make my own record company. Not necessarily because I want to be like a Jay-Z or whoever and take advantage of young artists, but because I don't want to be taken advantage of by the record industry. And so I think it'll be easier to just form my own record company, push out my records there, and be done with it. Kind of like the Beatles' Apple Records or Led Zeppelin's Swan Song, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I need money to do that, so this is the way I have to try, because I cannot get hired for whatever reason, even though I think I'm pretty qualified to work anywhere. I mean, I work pretty hard, and I have work experience. So, and I'm gonna get a degree soon. So, realistically, I should be able to get a job, but I can't for some reason because nobody will hire me. And so now here I am making videos, hoping that eventually these things will blow up enough so I can make real money. And I think a lot more people are in that situation than I think we realize. I think a lot of us are in that situation where we kind of turn to the internet because crazy it might sound to you, this is the most viable option that we have right now. This is the most viable option that you have in order to make money. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, with jobs, nobody is hiring, nobody is getting paychecks or whatever, and there's a barrier for entry. But with the internet, there is no barrier to entry. All you have to do is make an account, post videos, and eventually one will blow up. Now, of course, it's not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed success with the internet. I've been posting myself for 5 or 6 years, and so I've obviously not done very well, but I'm still trying because I need something to work. You know, the only other option I have when it comes to money, to make money, is street performing, and that's not, well, actually it's been more profitable than the internet, which is crazy because, you know, but this is the most viable option I have if I want to make like a long-term career out of something, even if it means it only lasts a little while. It's still better than nothing, right? And so that's why I think people choose this kind of thing. Nobody wants to work the minimum wage jobs that aren't going to pay you enough to live, and nobody wants to be broke, unemployed, and basically a loser. So you gotta try and do what you gotta do. It's not something that I think most people really want. I think most people don't really want to be influencers. I think most people don't really want to be perceived as much as people think you do. I think people just act that way because they need the money bad, especially now. And so that's why you see so many people trying to be influencers. I think if people had job stability and paychecks, you wouldn't see nearly as many people trying to be famous, as it were. But because of the situation we're in now, everybody is trying to. And so that's why I think we have so many influencers. And that's basically where I'm going to leave it at. So, yeah, if anybody wants to leave comments on that, you can. You should also subscribe. Please do that. I need money and views. So do that, please. See ya.